Alright, hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jessica. Today we're going to be talking about all the products that I'm currently using / panning. I'm panning like multiple eyeshadows and things like that, so I'm not necessarily using all those things all at once every day, but I'm going to talk about also the things that I'm not quote unquote project panning that aren't in products, but I am projects, but I am trying to use them up. And yeah, they're just my everyday go-to at this point in time. So we're getting both. And then also all the things that I'm project panning. So we have all the things. Okay, so let's get started with primers. So right now I only have one primer that I'm using. It's not in a project pan, but it is the Pores No More Luminizer Primer by Dr. Brandt. I've used a full one of these before, got it in BoxyCharm. My mom also had BoxyCharm. She doesn't use primers, so she gifted this along to me. And I'm happy to have it. It is very illuminizing. So yeah, and moisturizing. I like it a lot. I'm excited to use it up though. Not sure I would repurchase it. I like to kind of explore whenever it comes to primers, but it's definitely if I didn't like it, I wouldn't have brought it back into my collection. Okay, so next let's go on to base products. So let's talk about, we'll talk about my foundation next. I'm using the Fenty Beauty foundation. It's their first one, the Pro Filter. It's in 110. I like it okay. It's definitely a little light for me right now. It was the perfect shade back whenever I had zero tan because we were stuck inside all day, but now I do mix it a little bit with this Bare Minerals original concealer. It's a liquid mineral concealer, and it is in light N2, definitely too dark for me, but mixing these two together works wonders. So that's great. That's my everyday foundation base. And then for concealers, I do use the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector in light to medium. So I use that, and then I go over any extra spots, or especially also under my eyes, the Makeup Forever Ultra HD concealer, and mine's in 11. I have bought this over and over and over again. I love it so much. I want to try to explore maybe other concealers, but I'm so happy with that. For years I've only been using that. So I think I'll try to branch out maybe once this is done, although I think I have a backup of this. So once this is done and then that one's done, maybe I'll go ahead and branch out and explore other concealers just to try new things, but I'm totally satisfied with that. I love that concealer. And then for the Becca as well, I think this is another thing I would repurchase for sure. So the next thing I do in my makeup routine is contour, and I am using the Highlight and Contour palette by IBY Beauty. Got this in a BoxyCharm, and I mean, look at all this pan, lots of pan. Definitely have used all these up. This was the contour shade I was using forever and ever and ever and ever, and I finally used it up. It's I'm excited because that's definitely one thing done from my inventory. I count these as my as bronzers in my inventory, so I know for sure I have one powder out since I'm doing my inventory in October, so I'm so excited. But now what I've been doing is, since this is a little bit warmer, I mean, this could totally be used as a bronzer, but this is too dark, but it's definitely a cooler tone, so I've been dabbing a brush in each of those and then contouring. It's been working really well, like it a lot. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm using. I'm using both of these, and I just started doing that. So I mean, maybe there's a little bit of disturbance on the powders, but there's no dip. You cannot tell at all. This is still gonna be around for quite a long time. It's been around for a long time. This is gonna bring me all the way through 2022, if not through 2024 or 2023 as well, I think. So next is gonna be bronzers, and this is my first one in my first product that we're talking about that's in a project pan. It's my Project 50 pan. This is the Too Faced Sweet Tea bronzer, and it's beautiful. And I mean, I want to say it's almost done, but it moves really, really slowly. It's beautiful. I'm really excited. I just am really, really hoping, I mean, I think I can, it just depends on how much makeup, but I'm just really, really hoping that this is done in 2022. Not because, I mean, not that I'm not, I still love using it. It's still beautiful, but just for the sake of using up a bronzer and being able to then use another bronzer in my collection and just getting through them. Yeah, that's all I'm hoping for. Next is gonna be blush. So I have a little Franken blush that's made up of a bunch of little lipsticks put together, a little bit of a cream highlight as well. And yeah, this is again in my Project 50 pan, using it up. Hopefully it'll be done sooner rather than later since it is a cream product, but we'll see. And then I'm using right now an Almay blush, and it is the Smart Shade powder blush in 30 Coral right here. There's a little disturbance. I don't have this in a project right now. I don't have any powder blush in a project because my Project 50 pan, I think I have like 4 products left until it's over, and I know if I bring in another blush, like it's not gonna like even get any pan on it or anything exciting. It's just, I'll just be like showing you this is the blush that I'm using. So I don't have anything like in there yet because it's almost, that project is almost done, which is very exciting. Oh, I also forgot to say it for my powder, just to set my face, because I do that. I'm very much an oily person, so powder is very important. And right now it's the Charlotte Tilbury Powder Airbrush Flawless Finish in Fair 1. And this is how much we have left. That's really exciting. This is my only powder that I'm using right now. I was using, I typically use loose powders, but this has been in my collection for a hot minute, so I was like, okay, hold off on loose powders. Once I think I finished like my IT Cosmetics one that I was using. So now I'm gonna concentrate on this, get that going, get it out, and then I'll go back to other powders in my collection. The powder is another thing that I kind of like to dabble in a bunch of different things in. I like to explore a little bit on those. Okay, so next is gonna be highlight. And I have a liquid highlight that I actually use under my foundation on the top of my cheekbones just because it's a little dark for my complexion. But it's the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Liquid in Prosecco Pop. Here we go. This is in my Project 50 pan again. I think I'm like right here. Been like that for a minute. Really pretty. A little dark for my complexion, but since I put it under my foundation, not really a problem. I was using this in the summertime, like all over my body, like for my legs and on my like collarbone, anywhere I wanted to be a little bit shimmerier, have a little bit more glow, and that was really good. That's definitely how I used up majority of this. And now though, I'm covered head to toe basically, so I'm just using it on the cheekbones, and with that, since I'm using such a small amount, it's gonna be around for a hot minute. Hopefully sooner rather than later though, as always, because it is in my Project 50 pan. Another thing in my Project 50 pan is my over highlighter in Beverly Hills. It did have the pinwheel effect, but I've crushed all the powders up and smushed them together, and this is what we have now, basically a pinky highlight, really pretty. I have it on today. There, you can kind of see it there. I have it on today, really pretty, like it a lot, but obviously packaging's broken and everything, and yeah, this is definitely a hot mess. Like, it definitely looks used, obviously. Okay, so next I go ahead and I move on to brows. And with my brows right now, I have the IT Cosmetics Brow Powder. It's a universal shade. I don't love the top of it. It's like a teardrop or oval shape, I guess. Not that you all can actually see it. So I like it. I like a bit more defining because my brows, I mean, they look pretty good right now, but typically that's just because I just dyed them. But typically I need like the defining type of brow for that. But that's what I'm using right now. It works fine. I've used it, I think, a couple times because, again, it's something that my mom, she'll buy stuff from QVC and it comes in a pack, and she doesn't use brow stuff, so she passes them on to me, and I'm like, okay, that's fine, I'll use it. So yeah, not too bad. And then I have the Brow Gal by Tanya Crooks. It's a little palette, and there's some shades in here. Again, I'm kind of using what I'm doing with like the IBY Beauty is I'm mixing the two shades, something too dark, something too warm, mixing it together. And yeah, this has been around for a hot minute. It's going to continue to be around for a hot minute because look at all that product. But yeah, still working fine. I know I'll have brow product for years to come. And then I also have this Gimme Brow in by Benefit. It's in, I think it's in the shade 1. It's definitely, the packaging is wearing off. Honestly, this is basically empty. I need to get a new brow gel is what it is. And I want to go to MAC for it because I know that I can then take that empty and put it into their recycling program, which is huge. I really, really want to do that. I love that MAC does the recycling program. That's something that I like. That's why I like to continue to support MAC, is because they have that recycling program. Really important to me. So yeah, I want to do that, but I don't want to like pay for shipping like via MAC or also Ulta. So I just need to get off my butt and go to Ulta and actually get it, or a MAC counter, one of the two, and go get it. But I just haven't done that. So this is basically empty. I'm just like really scraping it out and like combing through my brows just to hopefully have something, but honestly, it's past its last leg. Yeah, I think I just kind of do it for my own sanity at this point. Okay, and then we have the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer, the original. This is definitely, again, not at its last legs, but it's getting really low. I have to take the brush out and then squeeze up, and it's like about here. So there's definitely still a lot of product in here. This will probably take me well into April with how much product, because there's just so much product in these. But yeah, and I really liked it. I like it a lot. I don't know. I also have like samples from Urban Decay of their primer potion, and this was bought in a 2-pack, so I actually have another one of these. I will say Urban Decay, I don't think they did it this year, but anytime they do like their 2-for at of these at the Christmas time sales, like they're so worth it. So worth it, because they just last forever. You'll have eye primer for like years. Okay, next is gonna be eyeshadow, and I have a lot of eyeshadow because that's kind of what I project pan a lot, or that's like okay, I have a lot of eyeshadow in general, so that's why. But also that's what's really exciting for me, like to project pan, even though it's so slow moving. Yeah, but let's get started. I'm like, where to start? There's just so much. Okay, first let's start at the Kat Von D Shade and Light eyeshadow palette. So this is something that I've been using. One, I'm using this powder to set underneath my eyes. So although this is an eyeshadow palette, I'm using this as not that. But also I use this white right here just for a brow bone highlight, as like a matte brow bone highlight, and really liking that. Every now and then different looks. Like for today, I'm using this as like a transition shade. I feel like as soon as I'm done panning like certain shades for the eyeshadows that I set my eyeshadow primer with, I could bring this in and like a bunch of others. So this is kind of like kept just real near me because I'm using this as like a utility palette for when I'm dipping in other shades that don't quite have like a transition shade that I need, or something to deepen things out, or whatever. So I have this. My other utility is gonna be my little single eyeshadow pan palette that I have. And in here we have a few shades. So this is gonna be the one that I'm setting my eyeshadow primer with. This is Beaches and Cream from Makeup Geek. This is the same thing. I'm just project panning this first. Almost done. And then this will probably be next. These are from an Urban Decay, and these two from an Urban Decay Vice palette that I depotted. This I'm clearly using to deepen out my eyeshadow at this point. This as well is something that I am using to set my eyeshadow primer whenever because this does have a little bit of pigment, has a little bit of warm pigment, and when I'm doing a cool tone look, I really don't want a pigment in, and so I've been using this. This is something I'm using as well, like for my liquid eyeshadow that's in my Project 50 pan. It's the Cover FX Amethyst. Yeah, and then I am using this blue to set my eyeshadow, or my blue liner whenever I wear that. And then the black I also have been using to set my eyeliner for my black eyeliner. This I'm not really using that much, but whatever. These two are small sample shades. This is in my Project 20 uses, and I've used it twice actually, so there's a little sneak peek at that. And then this one I'm not really using at this point either, so another utility thing. Lots of eyeshadow that I'm using and project panning at the same time and just aiding my looks. So yeah, I also have my Amethyst, my Pan That Palette projects. So I have my MAC Quad and then my IBY Beauty Little Trio. This one is mainly used at this point for this transition shade, but I will move along to those once my MAC is done. Along with that, with my MAC palette, I have been using this ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in Arrow. This isn't in an official project pan, but it's definitely getting use on it, and hopefully it will be finished at some point. I don't know if it'll be finished before I finish the MAC palette, but I'm sure as soon as I'm done with that, like, and if there's still product left, which I'm sure there will be, I'll put it into a project pan at some point. And then I have my ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in Partridge. This is in a Pan and Everything project pan, so I just want to hit pan on this. Very far away. I am wearing it today, but I hardly use it, like, because I'm really focused on my Pan That Palette products, so yeah. And then I have a MAC pigment in Sun Pepper. This is again another thing in my 20 uses. I think I'm going to try to hit 20 uses on that single shade first and then try to get 20 uses on this, but nevertheless, it's in there. And then I also have 20 uses for my Sweet Peach palette by Too Faced. I have yet to use it in the 20 uses, but hopefully sooner rather than later. I've just been really like focusing on like the typical fall shades / winter shades and really been enjoying that stuff, even though I know I can get fall and winter looks in from this palette because there's just a nice variety in there. I just haven't quite reached for it yet, but I plan to soon. Hopefully. And then I have my Winky Luxe Kitten palette. This is going to be my next palette that I do a 5 uses project pan. And I'm going to do that. Well, the plan was to, I think, pick this up once these are done. I might do it a little bit earlier because on winter break, I'm going to go visit my mom. And I think I can do like film there and do that. Do the 5 uses with this. Because I think the last time I did a 5 uses and I filmed the looks that I got out of, you know, using a palette 5 times, and I really enjoyed it. I think you really enjoyed it. Okay, so next are my eyeliners, and can you believe we're still not done yet? And I'm really trying to like speed around it. We have my It Cosmetics No Tug Waterproof Anti-Aging Gel Eyeliner. This is the longest name, and it's in navy. It's decent. It's in my Project 50 pan, but I just put it in there. I'm not using it all the time, mainly when I do my amethyst look. But yeah, and then right now I have this Jessica Liebenskind, Vintage by Jessica Liebenskind, eyeliner in jet black. It's almost done, and I really like it. It's a really good eyeliner. It's just been around for a hot minute. And then let's do mascara. We have 2 mascaras. We have the Hello Lashes It Cosmetics mascara, not my fave, but it's working, it's doing its thing. And then I have the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. This is pretty good, I think. However, I feel like whenever there's like moisture in the air, it really easily like transfers up to my eyelid, which is frustrating. Like anytime there's moisture in there, this is not the way to go. But I do know that they have a waterproof one, so if you live in like high humidity type stuff, I would definitely go for their waterproof one. I haven't tried their waterproof one, but definitely not that one. I'll say that. And then for my lip products, and then just my setting spray. So lip products, right now I have my Lipstick and Chai by Lipstick and Chai, very little left, which is very exciting. Oh, I can't wait for that to be done. Just like, again, because I have so many lipsticks and I just want to move on to other things. It'll be exciting. And then I have my MAC lip liner in Nice and Spicy. This is a beautiful color. I love that color. But again, lots of lip liners to move on to. And then I have my Benefit Dandelion Lip Gloss, and it's a little sample, and that's really beautiful as well. And then last but not least, we have my MAC Fix Plus setting spray. Sometimes I use this to set my face if I feel like it's like very, very powdery, but usually I'm just using this as like a color enhancement for like to use on my brush or on my eyeshadows or whatever to like help with that. So 20 something minutes later, we are through, and there's all the makeup I'm using. There's so much makeup that I'm using / project panning, but I love it. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. I'd love to know what you're using on your everyday. I don't know if anyone asked for this, but that's what I'm using right now. It's very exciting, and I just love updating because especially like on my day-to-day stuff, like my foundations and everything, I typically don't share those with you like for my project pans. So in fact, I don't ever project pan. So this is like a way for you all to know what I'm actually using on my face from day to day. So yes, anyways, I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all are having a wonderful holidays, and excited for 2022. And yeah, have a good day. Bye.